how to avoid abusing the breakout tool in Zoom or in Adobe Connect and other tools. Breakouts are interesting, but in my survey, talking to a lot of trainers and designers and presentations, I always get this response, why are you doing breakout? Oh, I'm doing breakout because it cuts the boredom. Number one, it makes them entertain themselves by talking to each other. Number three, people love to talk, so they allow them to talk. And very few do I hear people to simply say that my learning objective is for them to discover through a conversation among themselves so that they can reflect on this particular project. Or it is an intentional use of what we call a breakout session. So it is abusive. It can be abusive because if we're using it only as an entertainment, as an extension in order to make people feel good, it could damage your entire process as a whole. So a few things that you might want to do is, number one, always think that the purpose of a breakout group is to have an intimate conversation with a few people about a topic that they could not otherwise discuss in a bigger group. That's number one. Another reason that they have a breakout group is that it's time element. You cannot have a session with 20 people talking at the same time, so you reduce it down in that area. But the most important part really is, what is your intent? What is your objective? What is the activity? And oftentimes, you let them do the activity on paper or in a document, Google Docs, submit it, and let the group look at it ahead of time and then have very pointed questions. Question one, question two, and then have a conversation on that question, so that the conversation in the breakout group is so narrow, it's so specific, it doesn't swirl all over the place. Now, I hear someone simply say, I want to add spice to my webinar, so I do a breakout session. The problem with that is sometimes when you overspice things, like you put a lot of salt, it becomes a little bit really bad, too salty a food. So it loses the value of your contribution within the webinar. So be very cautious and be intentional on what is the purpose of a breakout session.